these pre-apprenticeship programs and apprenticeship programs are registered and do provide your students with a lot of opportunities to learn the skills that will help them in a future career. So moving on. So what is a pre-apprenticeship program? So a pre-apprenticeship program is basically a basic technical and job readiness preparation program. The goal of these programs is to provide a pipeline for industry. So we want to build that career pipeline so these students will be able to go step by step and be prepared for a career. Many times this leads to an opportunity for a registered apprenticeship program that's going they would get into once they complete their high school career. So many times these programs are going to be combined with on-the-job training and related instructions, and sometimes they're related to, they have credentials that are associated with them as well. So as you hear more information about these two different programs, those are some things that I want you to make sure you look at, is that there are some differences. So understand that each pre-apprenticeship program is a little bit different. And the goal is for both of the programs that we have, or any pre-apprenticeship or apprenticeship program, is to, again, create that talent pipeline and get students prepared with the technical skills they need to be successful. So if you do complete a pre-apprenticeship program, one of the things that it does is it does allow you to build your resume. It allows you to build your resume and have a better chance of becoming a registered apprentice once you graduate. So it gives you that next step above any other candidate that is applying for those limited number of positions that are out there. And what we have is our local industry works, and they invest in those apprentices and pre-apprentices so that they know that when they come out, they've got an opportunity that they can work, and they're also going to get a quality education. So some of the things that we do in a pre-apprenticeship program, we explore and learn about the careers related to the industry. We look at different specific training. For example, it could be something like with our construction trades, with our HVAC, you're looking at NCCR curriculum and credentials that are nationwide credentials that are associated with that. So that goes into building those technical and work readiness skills. We also have the potential to move into that registered apprenticeship program, and you can get this pre-apprenticeship recognition certificate, which is another one of those things that is a resume builder for the students as they go through the program. So who all does this benefit? Well, definitely the sponsor and employer, it benefits them because it allows them to begin building that relationship with students at an earlier age, getting to know them and helping to build that talent pipeline into their companies. It also helps them learn about those students and recruit them for full-time employment upon completion. And it allows them to begin working from a select group of qualified, job-ready students. So these are students, when they commit to these programs, they know that they're going to have a set number of skills when they complete this program and be better prepared to come in their company and immediately jump in and start working. It also increases the retention of students who get into the full apprenticeship programs because they have a better idea of what they're getting into, and they already have a good, solid skill set, so that they're going to be able to be more successful. So we have two pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship programs to talk about tonight, and this is really where the guts of the presentation is going to be. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and open this up, and I'm going to turn this over to Russell Carpenter. Russell Carpenter works for South Piedmont Community College, and he is over their apprenticeship programs. And I'm going to allow him to go ahead and jump in there and get started. And Russell, when you tell me you're ready, I will move the slides.
All right. Thank you, Brian. As Brian said, I'm Russell Carpenter. I'm the Director of Apprenticeship Programs here at South Piedmont. And in conjunction with Union County Public Schools, Grinder Bio One, and Berry Plastic, and several other manufacturers, we've developed this program. If you want to bump to that next slide, please. This program starts in the summer for our rising seniors, and this is a 3-week program that we do here at South Piedmont during the summer. It will start June the 7th. That will be the beginning of the orientation. Students will attend classes with South Piedmont Monday through Thursday, and right now we have it 8 to 12. Of course, some of that may be online now because of the pandemic, but Monday through Thursday will be class time. On Fridays, the students will go to either Grinder Bio One or one of our other industry partners, and they will spend part of that day job shadowing, getting the chance to look around the facilities, actually starting some hands-on training. And on June 25th, that will end the orientation. If you want to go to the next slide, please, Brian. During that orientation with the companies, they'll get a chance to meet the staff, meet the people you would be working with in these facilities, see what the facilities look like, and how these factories actually work. Because today's manufacturing is a high-tech environment that a lot of people have never had the opportunity to see. And you'll get a chance to begin your preliminary training. If you want to advance that. So what will you be doing in the summer? In the summer classes, you'll take industrial safety and work-based learning. So you will actually get 3 credit hours for these 3 weeks that you spend in the summer program. You're also going to receive some additional instruction, working smart, which is a soft skills for the workplace. So not only are we giving you some job skills, we're also getting you ready to interact in the world of work. If you want to go to the next slide. After the summer program in your senior year, you will actually be enrolled in the Industrial Systems Engineering Pre-Apprenticeship CTE Pathway Certificate. So in the fall of the year, you will take print reading, circuit analysis, introduction to PLCs or programmable logic controllers. And then in the spring semester, you'll take hydraulics, pneumatics, basic welding, and you'll receive high school elective credit for those classes. So not only will you be finishing high school with your high school diploma, you will also have a college certificate that will apply towards an associate degree in the engineering field.
And one thing just to clarify, if you are interested in these, one of the things, this is through the what we call Career and College Promise, and you have career development coordinators who work at each of your high schools. And if your son or daughter has any questions about any of these programs, they should be the first people that they go see, and they can help explain some of these things and through the Career and College Promise pathways that we have like this. Also, and just to steal a little bit of your thunder, Russell, I'm sorry about that, but South Piedmont also has career coaches that work to help with these pathways as well, and they also work with our career development coordinators. So you've got lots of resources to help you understand any of these things.
Thank you for adding that. So how does this start? What does the timeline look like? Well, obviously we have our information session tonight. We would ask that you meet with your high school counselors by May 14th to try to go ahead and get you registered, get everything put in place. June 7th through June 25th will be our summer program. And at the conclusion of this summer program, our Griner Bio 1 and Barry will make selections out of this group. All of the students can go on through the pre-apprenticeship program, but a select few will actually be chosen by Griner Bio 1 or Barry to go into a little bit deeper program where they'll actually get to work some their senior year and continue their on-the-job training and go ahead and get a head start on the apprenticeship program. With that being said, I'm going to turn this over to Chris Wallace from Griner Bio 1. He is the apprenticeship coordinator there at Griner. So Chris, if you want to take it from here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Well, good evening, everybody. Normally, I get to see everybody at school, and I really miss that this year. Avalon and I were just talking about how much we really miss visiting all the high schools and getting to see all you guys and everything. I know maybe some of you remember this, guessing how many caps was in there and winning our giveaway. But again, my name's Chris Wallace, and I do work for Griner Bio 1. And the main thing we make here at Griner Bio 1, I'm going to put this up here and see if any of you recognize, we make these blood collection tubes. We make about 50 million of these a day. So we're spitting these things out pretty quick now. Before we were about half of that a day, and just in this year we've doubled our machine. We bought new machines, new equipment. So that's what we make. We turn raw plastic into that, plastic pellets into that. We also make things for laboratories. You probably see something like that in a lab somewhere with all the wells in there. We make that. Different testing things, what we make. And if you can imagine, to make all these types of products, we need top-notch professional people that can work on this equipment. We need mold technicians that can work on the molds that mold this plastic. We need machine technicians that can work on the machines. We need process technicians that can tell these machines what to do and program these machines and things. We need those. And one thing our company saw several years back, and the reason they started an apprenticeship program was they got to looking around and saying, all of our technicians are 55 years old. They said, in 10 years, we're going to be in a mess. We're in trouble in 10 years. And they realized that. So they got, we started this program. And just to be honest with you, this program has been a success for Grinder Bio. I don't know where we would be without our apprenticeship program. We've had 6 graduates from our apprenticeship program. I have 12 apprentices right now that I'm working with. Of those 12 apprentices, 5 of them were pre-apprentices at one time, come from the pre-apprenticeship program. So they started off as high school students, as Russell and Brian both said, they moved into our full-time apprenticeship program. But these guys they're not finishing this program. Our 6 graduates are not finishing this program and going to the bottom somewhere. Most of them now of our apprenticeship graduates are in leadership position. It's amazing to look through our company and see where these guys are at. They're not just regular technicians, they're lead technicians, they're boss men. So this program has been a success for it. That's why I'm so excited. I was excited when they put me over it, and I enjoy going out and talking to people and talking about it. I try to tell everybody I can. So I just encourage, I wish it was around when I was a senior in high school. I so wish there was something like this available when I was in high school that I could have gotten. But it's just a great opportunity. Anybody that has any questions, you can reach out to me. I'm sure they be glad to give you my information. You can email me, text me, call me, whatever, and I'd be glad to answer any questions. But it's just a great program to get involved with, and I hope to meet some of you real soon. Everyone, you have anything to say?
Sure. From an from an HR admin standpoint, I'm Avalon, and I'm the recruiter here. And to echo what Chris said, it's true. Having that fresh green talent that we can actually mold and teach you how to do things the Grinder Bio one way is really important. And to work for a company like this, just think about it, right? You have an opportunity to have a footprint in the cure of COVID and saving lives, things of that nature. And as he mentioned, a lot of our work staff, they're aging out. And manufacturing isn't what people thought that it was before, right? People thought it was grimy, it was dirty. No, it's actually clean with Grinder Bio 1 simply because of what we manufacture. It's a climate-controlled environment, great people to work with, and there's so much room for growth. When you come in as a high school student, you graduate from the pre-apprentice program to an actual apprentice. Once you become an actual employee, you get vacation time, you get holidays, you're able to get benefits, things of that nature. And that's just the beginning. The sky is the limit. Of course, you go through the pre-apprentice program as well as the apprentice program. But then once you come on board with Grinder Bio 1, we also offer tuition reimbursement. So you could take that associate's degree and turn it into an undergraduate degree and a master's degree, and you can go as high as you would like to go, because we're a company that's willing to invest in you both as a person, but also as an employee. So it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Chris and Avalon. Brian, if you'll go to that next slide, please. So if you get into the pre-apprenticeship program and you are one of those select few that's chosen by Grinder Bio 1, not only will you get to take the college classes, you'll also get to begin your career your senior year with Grinder Bio 1. So you're that much closer to retirement right off the bat. So with the pre-apprenticeship program, the fall schedule, you would begin working with Grinder in August. You would meet, and Chris would that time's to be determined. He will work with you on that. August will begin classes at South Piedmont. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think, Chris, you guys are still following that schedule?
Yes, sir, pretty much, as long as they're depending on class time. But yes,
okay.
So
that'll be worked around the class schedule. And the schedule here at South Piedmont, obviously that's to be determined. We're not sure what COVID is going to do. We'll still have those classes, but we're not sure what's going to be in person and what's going to be online. So, okay, yeah. So if you will go to that next slide, Brian. So with your high school, you will still have morning classes at the high school, first and second block. In the afternoon, you would either report to South Piedmont or you would report to Griner Bio 1 to continue this program. Next slide, please. So what's next? After the pre-apprenticeship, you would be eligible to be selected for a registered apprenticeship program. What does that mean? It means you're going to receive on-the-job learning. You're going to, outside of what you learn in the classroom, you're also going to be learning from experts on the job. And the big one is progressive wage scale. You're going to be earning money. So instead of going tens of thousands of dollars in debt before you even step foot on the job, you're going to let somebody else pay for your tuition and make money in the process. So not only are you not going in debt, you're actually gaining a paycheck in the process. So mom and dad's not forking out tens of thousands of dollars to get your career started. Next slide, please. It's the learn and earn model. So you're not going in debt, you're actually beginning to earn a paycheck in the process. Once you've completed an apprenticeship program, you will receive from the U.S. Department of Labor your National Journey Workers credential. Journey workers earn significantly more over their lifetime. Your tuition, again, is no cost to you. Someone else will pay for your college tuition. You get to learn under actual craftspeople. So you're learning from people that know what they're talking about. And for me, the big one is this: it's only the beginning. Going back to what Chris was saying a while ago, this is the foundation for a career, not for a job. I've spoken to several CEOs and general managers over the last few years that always say, hey, I got my start as an apprentice. And I've spoken to a lot more who wish they would have took this route to get to where they were going. So we're not just going to train you for a job and put you in that job and expect you to stay there. We're starting you on a career so you can spend a lifetime learning and constantly bouncing up that ladder. Griner and Berry are not our only companies. Here's a list of the companies I'm currently working with. You have Griner Bio 1, Berry Plastics, Goulston, Kirkco, Assa Abloy, Goodyear, Conmet, ARC Electrical, Steelco Electrical, Hargett Electrical, ITEC, 3M, Tyson, Pilgrims, Helms Heating and Air Conditioning, MCI, and Omnova are all local companies that if you are selected into this pre-apprenticeship program and you're not selected by Griner, we have all of these other companies that also have apprenticeships as well. So there are a lot of opportunities there for those who are willing to reach out and give it a try. And with that, I was going to lead into a new HVAC program, and we're going to turn this over back to Brian and let Union County Public Schools talk about this a little bit.
All right, thanks, Russell. And we're excited about this. This pre-apprenticeship program is a partnership again with South Piedmont Community College that we work very closely developing this apprenticeship program and a pre-apprenticeship program. The goal of this program again is to align our pathways into the opportunity that students will be able to continue their education via South Piedmont Community College and into a registered apprenticeship program. So one of the things as we were looking at this was just talking about how we can make this happen with South Piedmont, how we can align what we're doing with their program. We work very closely together to create this, and we're excited about it. So for the pre-apprenticeship program, because it is a credential-based program and it is taught with modules through NCCR, again, that are nationally recognized credentials, the students are already earning those workplace skills. Mr. Medlin, our instructor, I'm going to allow him to have an opportunity to speak here in just a minute as well, can share. They're going to be learning the same things in those classes and those labs as they would be learning as they went out into and they went to industry. So Parkwood High School is where this program is at, and we've had a very strong program there, and many of the students there have had an opportunity in the past to be able to get hired and are doing very well in the HVAC industry. In this program, there are opportunities for work-based learning where students can participate in internships while they are in Union County Public Schools to get more of that work-based learning experience while in high school. It does have an opportunity, again, to lead into the full registered apprenticeship program with South Piedmont Community College with Helms Heating and Air. It also provides, again, opportunities to get that hands-on technical skills needed to go straight into the workplace. So to get into this program, you have to be a rising junior or senior. Students must have a GPA of 2.5 or higher. And again, students must be eligible to take the courses outlined in the pre-apprenticeship standards. So we are looking at, for our program, it is going to be core construction, which teaches a good overall basic understanding of construction and the construction industry. Then it moves into HVAC 1 and HVAC 2. While in those programs, students must keep a minimum of a 2.0 GPA or higher while in those courses. So that leads us into the opportunity for those students as they graduate to move into the full apprenticeship program. Do you have anything on the apprenticeship program that you'd like to add to that, Russell?
No, again, the same benefits apply here. The apprenticeship program is the same model, or earn while you learn. You'll still, outside of your other credentials, you'll also get that Journey Workers card. So it's the same benefits on the HVAC as it is on that exist on the manufacturing side.
Great. And what I'd like to do, Mr. Medlin, I know you're in there. If you would like just to talk a little bit about your program and kind of some of the things that you're learning in those classes.
Sure. Thank you, Brian. Again, I'm Mr. Medlin. I teach at Parkwood High School, and I teach the construction and the HVAC classes there. One thing that I want to touch on that is a little bit different than the manufacturing pre-apprenticeship program is, if a student comes in and completes all of these modules, I can guarantee them 100% placement, no questions asked, guaranteed. One thing that the construction industry is, the situation that they're in right now, they are massively short-handed. They do not have enough employees, and this is HVAC, carpentry, electrical trades. It does not matter. Anything construction, they are massively short-handed right now. I was on the phone today with a guy from Helms Heating and Air Conditioning, and he was supposed to be here and he was going to try to make it, but he had calls tonight because he just does not have enough employees. And this is a service manager. This is a guy that runs a service department at Helms. It's 6:55 in the afternoon. He's still running calls because he cannot find help to get the work done. And, you know, it's just a great opportunity for anyone that wants to get into anything in the construction industry. I've never seen it like this. And I think that Grinder Bio 1 they took some proactive steps where a lot of companies in the construction industry have not. And we're reaping those results right now because we just do not have help. And they are desperate. They are desperate for employees. And it's not just Helms, it's every construction company. Anywhere you go, it's not just in North Carolina, but it's everywhere. And so there's such a hole for someone to get some basic skills and go to work. I like to concentrate on the basic skills, skills that will apply whether you go to commercial, industrial, residential. If you do service or installation, maintenance. I have a student that has gone into sales. I have a student that's gone into distribution, working for a distributor that provides HVAC equipment. There's a lot of opportunity there in a lot of different fields. I've had several students that electricians have came in and kind of plucked my guys and drawn them into the electrical trades. And so a lot of these basic skills that I teach, they cross over into anything construction. I provide an OSHA 10-hour safety credential, and that is from OSHA. That is not from Union County. That is not from South Piedmont. That is from, OSHA and the Department of Labor, and it will go with you the rest of your life. We concentrate on using tools and using tools safely, and then we move into the application in some HVAC, and then we move into gas furnaces, basic refrigeration cycle, soldering, brazing, duct fabrication, really just some basic skills, so that day one, when you climb into that guy's truck, you have the ability to help him finish his job for the day.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that quick overview about what we do. And you're right, in both these areas, there's just such a demand for employees, and this is a great opportunity for our students to really get a leg up on the competition and have a really good shot to get some of these careers. And Caleb, we hadn't had a chance. I know you're in there. Do you have anything you'd like to add? I didn't realize you were in there, so I wanted to make sure you had a chance to speak just a minute.
It's all right. I came in a little bit late. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I had an emergency I had to deal with. So, I mean, our program pretty much is along the guidelines of what you guys follow, as far as reaching into the schools and getting high school students really built up into replacing the workforce. So in our case, where we started in just the tool room with being a tool maker, and the program that I actually went through myself, which is what this is, the pre-apprenticeship is bridging into. All of the fields that we have, I mean, people are 50, 60 years old, so they're getting ready to retire. And as you know, when I was in high school, this opportunity and stuff like this kind of didn't really exist. So we're taking that and expanding onto it, so that way we can start filling out these technical positions, especially in our plant. We're looking at trying to take at least 5 people every year to rotate them through all of the 5 departments, to where we're going to be furnishing full apprenticeships, just to kind of replace our workforce. Now, as far as it goes with the development of skills, like Michael was just saying, I mean, those fundamental basic skills sets that maybe these guys might not have, or females too as well, across our departments, I mean, it really helps build a foundation for careers later on. And in the process, like Russell was saying, you get to work. You also get to the benefit of starting a degree program that you could actually take in. We finish out an associate's degree through all of our programs, and it helps people get from point A to point B as far as a career field goes. And that really helps people out. We've actually expanded on our program quite a bit, from just the tool room to be in maintenance, QA, our print department. From all the containers that we make, we print on the outside, and even processing the plastic itself. So it's just kind of exposure to a lot of things that people wouldn't really necessarily know were out there before, and starting from basically scratch or a blank slate, that allows students and everybody to really come up in what's used to be, oh, it's just a trade job. It's kind of turning the other way now. It's like trade jobs, that's a career that you can build on. You can move into management after that. And then you can really kind of stepping stone from there. And with certifications from the state, like was mentioned before, you can really take those anywhere. And through Apprenticeship NC, your certifications are actually valid in all 50 states. Now, there might be restrictions for certain things, or you might have to pass credential tests in the particular state, but you can really go all over the United States with what you get in this program from here. I mean, it's really an invaluable asset, really, for us to pull people and recruit from, to get a foundation and help expand the area and really get us to where we want to be as far as aging people out. It's just a lot of these things, in HVAC included, are not dying fields, but I mean, we need people. I mean, we need people. We have availability, and there's just nobody there to take the jobs. It's like they're out there where they weren't before.
Thank you, Caleb. I appreciate you taking just a minute to kind of share that with us. And
yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I got to say, the companies that we've been talking about are outstanding partners to Union County Public Schools and South Piedmont Community College. We couldn't do this without them, and they are great places to work. I've been in there and met them. I've been in their facilities. It's a great place for your son or daughter to come out and have a great career. So just throwing that out there. We do have a little bit of time, as we mentioned. We went about 30 minutes for you guys to ask questions. So I'm going to start with Miss Hayward to see if there were any questions in the chat for anybody in the panel.
Yeah, there's two questions. So we'll start with one and see how you want to handle this one or who you want to address it. But since there are people on the panel in the audience that may not be a rising 11th or 12th grader, what suggestions do you have as far as courses or what they can do to prepare so when they are of age that they can look at going into one of these areas?
So I guess it depends on kind of which pathway we're looking at. The first thing I would say is, if you are not a junior or senior at this point and you're interested in this, the best thing that I can tell you to do is get to know your career development coordinator at your school. They're going to be able to really help guide you into these programs, and they can give you advice on courses. So, for example, some of our construction courses are not offered at every school, but when you're junior or senior, you can travel via an academy over to those schools and be able to take those, and you could become a pre-apprenticeship. So they can help guide you through those things. So also, you've got the South Piedmont Community College career coaches who can help you with some of the questions related to the CCP courses that we have through South Piedmont Community College. So that would be the best thing that I would tell you. Your guidance counselors are not going to know. They're going to know some, but they're not going to know all those details about pathways. So that's why I would encourage you. And I don't know, Kim, if you have it handy, if the link on the UCPS website where they can get to the information about who is their CDC and how to get in touch with them.
Great. Yeah, it's in the chat and I'll add it again. Okay, the other question is, what about the time commitment and whether or not after school activities such as clubs and sports, would that be something that the student would have to give up, or could they still work that in their schedule?
Yeah, Russell, that one's probably more toward the manufacturing one, so I'll let you answer that one.
Sure. Yeah, if selected by Griner or Barry, then with the time invested and the money invested, obviously they can't work their schedules around after school programs. That does not mean a student can't be in the pre-apprenticeship program. It just means that they may not be available to be selected by one of our companies until after they graduate. They can still take the coursework and they can still get a pre-apprenticeship certificate. It may limit them from being able to participate with the companies.
And that's the questions that we have in the chat.
And those are good questions. Is there any other questions out there? And feel free, if you'd like to ask directly, you can unmute your computer and ask to anybody that's on the panel. I guess one question, and I know Karen, I think Karen's still in here. If you're available, Karen, if you want to you could chime in and just talk about how do you apply? What is the best way to apply? We know we've got our career development coordinators as a good resource, but what do the steps look like for applying right now?
There it goes. Sorry, I was muted. So yeah, we do have I think it's a great application form. There's not a lot of information as far as, especially for the HVAC, specifically for Union County Public Schools. I believe Kim already linked it in the chat. I was trying to keep up the chat. So she's already put it in there. There's the direct link, and that is to the application that we will need to get from you. Once a student completes that, it's going to come to me. I'm going to look over that information. I will schedule a meeting individually with that student just to go over all the requirements, make sure they understand. There is a line on there that says a parent signature, so it will need to be printed out. You will be signing that for your student, and then they will be, submitting it. At that point, they basically just go through the courses that everybody has laid out, and once they complete it, then I will be in contact with the representative that I have to speak with, and then they'll verify those courses. And it's as simple as that. So those 3 courses for the HVAC program specifically is all that they really need. Also, really quickly, I don't know who all is, of course, in here. If your student by any chance has taken any of those classes already, the core, HVAC 1, HVAC 2, and they want to, continue to complete the pre-apprenticeship, they can go ahead and apply. And even though they've already done those courses, they will still count. So even if they've taken all 3 and they want to do it, then we can go ahead and kind of backdate that and backtrack, and then we can still let them be a part of the program.
Thanks, Karen. All right. Is there going to give one more shout for questions? Does anybody have any questions of the group? Okay. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for participating tonight. I know it's getting late on a Monday evening, and everybody on a Monday is, I'm sure, hopefully everybody had a good Monday. Sometimes those are tiring days after a weekend. But again, if something happens and you think of questions after we finish up the meeting, feel free to email your CDC or email one of the panelists that are in here today, and we'll make sure we get answers for you as soon as possible. These are, again, both great opportunities with great companies participating, and we look forward to seeing your son or daughter in our programs going forward.